Microplastics are in bottled water, tap water, even rain, so, what are we actually drinking? Today, I am fixing that with the best filters that tackle microplastics head on. I will be counting down the 6 best home water filters for microplastics, from solid budget-friendly pitchers to serious countertop systems, so it's clear which one actually fits a kitchen, a lifestyle, and a peace of mind checklist. Stick around till number 1 because, the top spots surprise me for how balanced it is between clean design and confident filtration.
6. Aqua Carafe Countertop Water Purifier. I went into the Aqua Carafe expecting heavy-duty filtration because, well, it's reverse osmosis. 4-stage RO in a compact countertop form, feeding into a glass carafe, no plumbing needed. From the first pour, the taste is crisp, almost blank slate, which is classic RO. If the goal is to strip out nearly everything, this one delivers that sensation reliably. AquaTrue says it's tested and certified to remove microplastics, and that was a big reason I put it in this lineup. If microplastic reduction is the worry, a physical RO membrane is a compelling barrier. The Carafe design does something smart too. Storing purified water in glass reduces the chance of reintroducing microplastics or other leachables compared to plastic storage. Small detail, big peace of mind. Now, well, here's where the experience got mixed. RO systems are amazing at removal, but they can be a little needy. Filter maintenance, periodic tank cleanups, and yes, the wastewater trade-off typical of RO, which may matter if saving water is part of the mission. The Aqua Carafe is more compact than full-sized RO units, but it still takes counter space and attention, refilling the back tank, aligning the carafe, and occasionally babysitting the filtration cycle when doing back-to-back batches. I also noticed that while the glass carafe is great, the main housing is plastic. AquaTrue notes it's BPA, BPS-free Triton, but if someone is aiming for a nearly plastic-free path end-to-end, this isn't that.
5th is the Aquagear water filter pitcher. The Aquagear pitcher has this quiet, earnest appeal, simple, familiar, and it focuses heavily on third-party testing and meeting or exceeding NSF standards using EPA-approved methods. What won me over early was the transparent performance page listing reductions across NSF 42, 53, and 401 categories, including a striking 99.98% reduction claim for microplastics in its testing. Seriously impressive for a pour-through pitcher format. It also lists reductions for a long roster of VOCs, herbicides, and endocrine disruptors like BPA and nonylphenol under 401, which is not a given for every consumer pitcher. In daily use, it's a steady, no-drama filter, fills at a moderate pace, improves taste, and doesn't hog fridge space. The kind of pitcher a family can rally around without a learning curve. But, a couple things held it back for me. First, the flow can slow down as the filter loads up, especially in areas with higher sediment. This is common for fine media, but you notice it when you're hosting and topping glasses repeatedly. Second, while Aquagear publishes excellent test data, it's still a gravity pitcher, no membrane microfilter or RO barrier, so if someone wants a physical microscale membrane to block particles, you'll want to look ahead in this list. Also, the filter replacements are not the cheapest over time. That's the you get what you pay for side of boosting performance in a compact cartridge.
4. LifeStraw Home Water Filter Pitcher. The LifeStraw Home stood out the moment I read the spec. It's a pitcher that removes bacteria and parasites in addition to microplastics, unusual in the pitcher category. The secret is a membrane microfilter paired with carbon and ion exchange. So the setup doesn't just polish taste, it adds a physical barrier that tangibly upgrades peace of mind, especially if there are concerns about boil notices or intermittent water quality issues. In use, the water comes out super clean tasting without being flat. It retains minerals like magnesium and potassium, so it feels natural rather than RO blank. Filter life is transparent, the membrane lasts up to 264 gallons, about a year, and the carbon plus ion exchange lasts about 40 gallons, roughly 2 months, which makes planning replacements easy. You know that moment when you look at a picture and think, this one's serious? That's the vibe here. LifeStraw talks about microplastics, PFAS, lead, mercury, and more, and backs it with the membrane component that puts it a tier above standard carbon-only pitchers for particle removal. Day to day, it's stable and straightforward to maintain, though the initial priming of the membrane can take a few fills to truly hit its stride. Pretty normal for membrane pitchers. And because membranes are doing real work, the flow rate isn't lightning fast. It's consistent, just not dump and done quick.
Number 3. ZeroWater 22-cup ready-read 5-stage water filter dispenser. If there's a brand that's synonymous with chasing zero TDS, it's ZeroWater. This 5-stage dispenser aims to strip out dissolved solids aggressively, and the integrated TDS meter makes the experience a bit addictive, not gonna lie. In everyday use, the 22-cup capacity is a host's best friend. It sits on the counter or in a fridge and keeps a group hydrated without constant refills. And the taste swings noticeably cleaner after a fresh filter, especially in hard water areas. ZeroWater and independent reviewers note certifications to standards like 42 and 53 for specific contaminants, and the brand has more recently touted performance for PFAS reduction via IAPMO on certain cartridges and regions, which helps it play in the modern concern set. Now here's the real talk. The microplastics narrative around ZeroWater is complicated. Some third-party discussions have circulated about tests claiming increased microplastics after filtration, while other studies, like one mentioned by the brand, suggest high removal. In short, the data is mixed and context-dependent. From my experience, the taste improvement is undeniable, and the 5-stage design does more than basic carbon, mesh screens, foam distributor, GAC, ion exchange, and fine screening. But microplastics performance likely hinges on particle sizes, filter condition, and even handling or storage of the plastic reservoir. Practically speaking, filters can exhaust quickly in very high TDS areas, and chasing 000 on the TDS meter can get pricey over time. Though the meter is a useful reality check that helps time replacements better than guessing. 2. Brita Hub Compact Instant Powerful Countertop Water Filter System. Brita's Hub surprised me. Not a pitcher, but a compact countertop system with legit third-party recognition for PFAS reduction under NSF and C53 via WQA listings, which elevates it in the current landscape of forever chemicals anxiety. Day to day, it's fast. One of the biggest differences from gravity pitchers is just how immediately it outputs filtered water. And if hydration habits rely on convenience, that matters more than spec sheets sometimes. The taste is bright and clean without removing all mineral character, which I prefer when I'm not looking for full RO vibes. The footprint is genuinely compact. It slots into small kitchens or shared spaces easily, and it becomes an everyone uses it appliance rather than a niche gadget. What cemented the Hub's rank is the combination of mainstream availability and credible certification for PFOA/PFOS reduction. This isn't a one-off lab claim. It's listed among certified options by testing experts that track these things closely. There's also a broader ecosystem. If PFAS is the main concern, Wirecutter highlights a Dexor-based cartridge, Cyclopore Pure Fast, for compatible Brita pitchers that's tested for PFAS reduction too, showing how the Brita universe can be tailored to that specific contaminant class. The Hub itself, being countertop and quick, just fits modern routines. Less waiting, more drinking, fewer excuses. If someone wants a powerful filter feel without the RO overhead, this one checks boxes confidently in 2025. 1. GLACIER Fresh 10-cup Purela glass water pitcher. The GLACIER Fresh Purela glass pitcher takes the top spot because it hits the sweet spot so many people actually want. Clean, safe-feeling water with a membrane element for microplastics in a glass body that feels premium and avoids the filtered water sitting in plastic worry. The brand's materials point to ultrafiltration plus carbon fiber media for microplastic reduction, chlorine taste and smell improvement, and general polishing. And the 10-cup size hits that perfect middle ground for singles, couples, or small families. In everyday use, it's smooth. The pour is controlled, the handle feels solid, and the glass reservoir keeps flavors neutral. No plasticky aroma, no lingering aftertaste, just clean water that people instinctively reach for again and again. You know that little jolt of satisfaction when a product just looks right on the counter? This pitcher has that. Minimalist, clear lines, and the reassurance of seeing the filtration happen without bulky hardware. Performance-wise, the inclusion of a fine membrane layer is a big deal for microplastics. It's the same principle that elevated LifeStraw in this list, but here it's paired with the aesthetic and inertness of glass, which to me makes it easier to recommend for day in, day out use. I appreciated how it slots into a fridge door without a fight and doesn't dominate shelf real estate, which means it actually gets used. Consistency beats specs on paper if the design encourages habit. Final thoughts. That's all for today, folks.